That's okay.
If I'm a performing artist,
I'm sorry?
if I'm a performing artist,
Performing artist.
yeah, and does your training and your practice and your craft count as sadhana? And if yes, is that enough?
Does what count as sadhana?
My training, my practice and my craft and every single show that I do or every single rehearsal or everything that goes into it.
What kind of performing artist? Okay. So as you said, it's an act. See, anything that you do with great involvement does something to you, all right? But there is a difference between doing an inward focused sadhana and an outward sadhana. It's not just for an actor. A manager can use his work as sadhana, a gardener can use his work as sadhana. Anybody who's doing whatever with absolute involvement, they can use it as a process of growth. But there is a distinct difference between doing external activity as sadhana and internal process as sadhana. What is the difference? External activity as sadhana is useful because you can do it throughout the day. And of course, you have to do some activity. Making that also into your process of growth is important. But the reason for internal sadhana, which has nothing to do with the outside, is to create that inner space within you. Because your outside sadhana is subject to results, you can't help it. Suppose in the middle of your act you forgot your dialogue. You can't say, this is my sadhana, I forgot and it's fine, I'll still enjoy and grow. No, you will be demolished on that day, isn't it? So your outside sadhana is subject to a certain level of performance and result and appreciation and the monetary returns and everything. But still it can be useful, it can be working for your well-being if you're doing it with absolute involvement. If there is involvement in anything, just your breathing, if you're absolutely involved, this will become your sadhana. You're walking, you're acting, you're anything. Involvement makes every act into a kind of growth, but still creating an inner space is very important because that's not subject to anything outside. Nobody need to clap their hands when you're meditating. Yes? You do your kriya, you're not expecting somebody to appreciate you at the end of it. It is not subject to any external reality and that's very important. That at least one aspect of your life is like this, it is not subject to anybody's appreciation or approval or whatever, but still you do it with absolute involvement. There are other dimensions to it. Apart from that, for you as a person to do something which has nothing to do with anybody around you is an important act that you have to perform every day. It's very important. So if you do that well, it'll be very easy to make your life's activity into your sadhana. If this inner space is not there, life's activity can slowly catch you up in such a way that for a lot of people, the professions and whatever else they started with great passion, after some time it's killing them. It is. Well, most people on the planet, isn't it? Simply because there is no inner space. So all this I'm not an expert in these things, but I remember this because of something that came my way once. All this in one single sentence was uttered by Krishna. He said, Yogastaha Kuru Karmani. It simply means, first establish yourself within you, then act. Then no action is a problem. You can fight a war, you can act, you can be a priest in the temple, you can cook, you can sweep, it doesn't matter what you do. But first establish yourself and do whatever you want. He's not restricting your action. He's saying, do whatever you want, whatever is needed you do. But first establish yourself within yourself. Otherwise you're using external activity to make yourself who you are, which will be disastrous. Establish who you are, then act, no problem. But if you're using your activity to make yourself into something, if something comes in your way which doesn't allow you to become that, you will be destroyed. So don't try to be a yogi by teaching yoga. You become a yogi, and then if people are interested, we will teach, otherwise we'll just close our eyes and sit.
The concept of integrating one's work or creative endeavors into a spiritual practice is often referred to as karma yoga or the yoga of action. The underlying premises is that any activity, when performed with the right intention and mindset, can become a means of spiritual growth and self-realization. Here are some general key consideration on how one's craft or profession can be used as a form of sadhana. Approaching one's work with a sense of presence, focus, and mindfulness can transform it into a meditative practice. Being fully engaged in the task at hand without getting caught up in the distractions or the ego's desire can cultivate a state of flow and inner calmness. Practicing a sense of detachment from the fruits of one's actions and performing one's work without attachment to the outcome can help transcend the ego and cultivate a sense of equanimity. This non-attachment can be a form of spiritual discipline as it helps let go of the need for external validation or rewards. Viewing one's work as a form of service to others or to a higher purpose can imbue with a sense of meaning and purpose beyond personal gain. Dedicating one's efforts to the greater good or to the divine can transform the work into a form of devotion and spiritual practice. Continuously refining and practicing one's craft can be seen as a form of spiritual growth and self-discipline. The pursuit of excellence and the development on one's ability can make a path of self-realization and expression of one's inherent potential. Ensuring that one's work aligns with one's personal values, ethics, and spiritual principles can make it a reflection of one's inner growth and commitment to a higher way of being. Maintaining integrity and ethical conduct in one's profession can be a form of spiritual practice. Ultimately, the potential for one's craft or profession to serve as a form of sadhana depends on the individual's mindset, intention, and the way they approach their work. With the right perspective and dedication, any activity can become a means of spiritual exploration and transformation. So thank you so much for watching and spending this moment for exploring a deeper way to look at work and personal growth. Life offers so many opportunities for growth, often hidden in our daily routines and the simple acts we repeat every day. When we bring full attention and involvement to these actions, they can become moments of transformation. Imagine every task, every conversation, every little job you do as a chance to know yourself better, to connect with what matters most to you. When we give our full focus and energy to our actions, life starts to feel richer, more meaningful, and we begin to see new possibilities within ourselves. Even in the middle of busy routines or challenging work days, there is a chance to learn, to grow, and to discover what lies beneath the surface. So as you go about your day, take a little moment to connect with whatever you are doing. Enjoy this experience, let it be a part of your growth, and feel free to revisit these ideas whenever you need a reminder. Thank you for being here, and remember, every moment is an opportunity to see life as a little differently. This is not a summary of Sadhguru's word, it is simply my own interpretation of the deep wisdom he imparted. Please keep them separated and do not misunderstand. Thank you for joining, and we will see you tomorrow. Until then, please take care. Namaskaram.